Our Multi-Plus popped smoke yesterday morning, right as I was getting to sleep. So I come down here in my underwear.
Welcome to the channel of the Roving Veterans.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Bethany.
And don't forget about our dog, the Traveling Maverick.
We chose our name because we RV, and we're also both military veterans.
We bought our first camper in 2020 and been full-time ever since.
On this episode, it's time to show you guys our solar setup.
So come along for the highs and lows of my year-long solar learning adventure.
We'll show you our mistakes so you don't have to make the same ones.
Being full-time RVers, we need reliable power to keep this show on the road. We are currently in the install and testing phase. Got the Maverick helping out right here, and got the screen mounted where I can monitor everything in the whole castle from my throne. I left, or tried to leave, this camper as close to stock, completely stock as possible. So this is our front bay with our generator, hydraulic system. This is just a factory solar charge. So I took that off and left that off of the battery because we don't use that. Added this red wire here with a 5 amp fuse for a trickle charge, connected to our Victron Multi-Plus 2 inverter charger, and just gonna get my wires run and the battery lid put back on this. Like I said, I left everything else completely stock, so this battery is now gonna be reserved to start gen and run our hydraulic system pump when needed. So for the jacks and slides and everything else I left completely stock. Alright, got it mostly buttoned back up. Looks pretty freaking stock. I'm gonna finish hiding my wire, but looks pretty stock. And we just keep our disconnect out to keep it separated from our house battery now. And that is our trickle charge connected up under there to the blade connection for trickle charge. And I know I need a ground wire or two, but other than that, I mean, this works good. So far, so good. All right, this is what I got so far. Got the antenna off of there. I'm gonna have plenty of room for my PV wires to go through there. Might even run another set since I'm thinking about expanding in the future if I can. So I might go ahead and run 2 wires through there. But I'll let you know how it goes. Continuing on Operation Solar Panel Plug-in Day. Perfect.
All right, we're officially at step 1 of our new solar install. They got here today. These ones aren't ours. These ones are, though. Brand new. So this is our current situation. We've got 400 watts in these. They are 100 watts a piece, and we got them from Jant's Road Shipping. Well, this is no good. Rob worked last night. Supposed to work tonight. I don't know if that's happening. Something happened to the Victron. He's down there trying to figure it out right now. It was smoking.
Like something melted or got in there somehow and cross connections or something. It'll give it a second. It'll take a second for it to boot up. Emergency surgery on the Victron. Our multi-plus popped smoke yesterday morning, right as I was getting to sleep. So I come down here in my underwear, and as it was smoking and popping, I made the fatal decision. And instead of turning the power toggle switch on the bottom, I turned the battery off switch, which turned our batteries off, but the charge controllers still sent all the powers into my RV. And now she's toast.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to change it out and figure this out. And I hope this never happens to you, because this has not been fun.
No, not at all.
At all.
It's April in Phoenix, and it's already in the 90s during the day, so it's do it at night when it's decent outside, or do it
Or die trying.
Or die trying because it's too hot. So yeah, we out here at night trying to get it done. One thing I wanted to add, yesterday whenever all that stuff popped and everything fried, Rob was like, you should have got that on video. I said, well, I thought about it, but you were absolutely in your underwear, so it
But instead, she did something like grab the fire extinguisher. Are you serious?
Right. I grabbed the fire extinguisher. I didn't know what else to do. Didn't use it, but it was definitely smoking. And
I'm just kidding. That was probably a good goal.
yeah, I grabbed the fire extinguisher. Didn't use it though, because I didn't know what to do with it. And then you might check your fire extinguishers just to know that you know how to use them, y'all, because I still don't. Thankfully,
should admit that.
Thankfully, we didn't actually need it.
That's great.
All right, here we go.
I can't remember how heavy this thing is, but it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. Because we both had to, I guess we both didn't
Just
have
kinda,
to,
like,
but we
sit it
both
off there, I
got
guess.
the other one today.
Oh, knee pads, must.
Yeah.
Knee pads are a must. Okay. Oh God, it's way heavier than I remember. So this is the aftermath. This was our old inverter that I took out of there. Had some stuff come out of it. Looks like wet toilet paper or something, and it's an oily substance as well. Not sure what happened to it just yet, but I think one of the charge controllers I had defaulted to 24 volt and we're 12 volt. I believe that's what happened, but still trying to figure it out right now. I just replaced our multi-plus. I think we're ready to turn it back on. I think
so.
I hope. I guess we're about to find out, huh? I replaced our multi-plus. I put our charger back on. Everything should be back. I'm gonna leave the cover off in case it just smokes it instantly, I guess. But I think we're ready to turn back on.
All right, here we go. You ready?
I think so. So I remade all my connections to my multi-plus. I think we're ready to turn it back on. They look good. Think we're ready?
Don't ask me, I'm the wrong person.
Oh man, I'm nervous though.
Do you want to turn it on from out here?
Well, I mean, if you see the magic smoke, it's already too late anyway. You know, once you release it, once she gives up the ghost, it's gone. When you see the smoke, it's over. That's a late sign. So,
I'm gonna not touch the camper at all.
oh man, I'm nervous. This thing's smoking one time will make you real nervous, huh?
Yeah.
It's a very costly mistake. It looks good to me. I wish I was an expert on this. Okay, I'm gonna turn it back on and see what happens.
I heard noises. Maverick did too, so he got up and moved away from the camper. I don't know if that's a good or a bad sign. What are you doing?
Just testing voltage, make sure it looks right to me. It looks right so far. We're alarming. That's probably grid loss because it doesn't see any AC coming in.
Alright, so we are currently in the process of upgrading our solar system. We had just a little bit, just barely enough in quartzite, or at the tail end of quartzite, to realize we wanted more. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to let Rob show you what he's doing because I have no idea. I'm just the video person on this because I don't do electricity. He's good at all that. Here we go. Also, don't forget the Inspector Maverick down here. Alright, so show me what you got in here and what are we working with? What are we doing?
So we plugged in our new solar charge controller, the large one, the 250-100, and apparently it was default set to 48 volts. We have a 12 volt system. It's going to be really important for you to know what that charge controller is set to before you hook it up to panels and start producing power, because I did not know that, and I smoked our multi-plus. I had to send it back, so we bought a new one. This is a new unit, that's why it looks like it does in here.
It's a little messy in here right now.
It's all blown apart because I had to replace that multi-plus because it smoked it. Also, another thing I will say is you should have good cutoffs and know what you're doing, because I shocked myself pretty good.
Very bad, actually.
Touching that bus bar with an automotive ratchet wrench. You got to remember what you're doing. It woke me up smoking, and I was in my underwear, made poor decisions, and and it happens, I guess, in life. But I want to warn you so you don't make the same mistake. Maybe that will save you some
thousands, probably.
Some time.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money and a lot of heartache, because we not only smoked our inverter charger, it sent it through our RV, so it smoked our motherboard for our air conditioner, the
AC.
refrigerator, the fans,
the radios,
the control board for the tanks and the batteries. It smoked a lot of things in our trailer. I don't think I've found everything yet that is damaged, but we're working on it, and we're going to try to get it back up. I hope this will save you some time and money, though. You cannot program one of these charge controllers from your phone or from the app or from even the screen. We have the touch screen in there too, I'll show you, but you cannot program one of those charge controllers from those items. You have to get on a computer and you have to change those settings if you need them to be different, and you need to get on there and know what they are for sure before you hook it into your system. I thought it auto-sensed when you connected it to your battery system, but it does not. It can still default back to settings, and it will and that will fry your stuff. So I hope that does not happen to you. I hope that saves you some money. With that being said, this has been a great system. This has kept us with 120 volt power whenever we're away from a pedestal. Wherever we park the trailer, it's enough power to watch TV, run our internet, do all the lights and fans. You know, if you are going to use the air fryer or the air conditioners, it's gonna hit it hard and fast. We're trying to get a little more out of it with more batteries, and that's exciting too. So over here we have two more of these eco-worthy batteries off of Amazon. And these things are not light, but we got to get them under here. This will effectively double our capacity on our battery, and we were already going sometimes a couple of days without having to charge, and that was without all of the solar put in yet.
That was just using a generator.
That was just generator, and so the most we've had up till now is about 400 watts on the roof, and we're gonna far exceed that. I don't know how much we're at right now, but I'll have to do the math, but hopefully we'll be able to produce enough power to keep comfortable in this thing during summertime on our upcoming summer travels, and I'm really excited about it. Top tips or tricks I would say is the inverter charger. When you realize it just makes the RV much more livable when you have 120 volt power and you can plug in whatever you want and it just works. You can charge whatever you want, and also it's going to keep your internet and your TVs and your phones and all that working, your computers. And not only that, but upgrading the battery system on your RV will allow you to stay out there longer. Ours was dying just using the jacks and slides, like just setting it up and trying to use the refrigerator and things like that you're gonna need to run on the thing to make it livable. We were killing the battery, so having a bigger battery bank and an inverter is a game changer, and I'm really excited because we do have a couple of new batteries that's gonna double our battery capacity that we have.
So what we got going on back here, Rob?
On our solar adventure, I burned up a lot of things on our trailer. Most of the things on the 12 volt side that were on or that we were using when our high voltage situation occurred got burned up. So I replaced the control board on our RV here. This shows the state of the batteries in the fresh tank, all the tanks, like the gray, black, and fresh water tanks, as well as the battery. The other control board that come original on this trailer had the buttons that were already mounted to the control board like so, and they poked through the holes like that. So it needs to look like that. And then we need to put our board on top of that like so. But I'm not real sure how to do that. I got it all glued and fixed back in place. This is not an approved method. This is just how I had to do it. This is the only way I can figure out how to make it work. So as long as it works and the wife's happy, I'm happy.
Hey, it works for me, so let's go. So Rob is currently changing out the motherboard. I think that's how that goes, right?
Yep.
Changing out the motherboard for the fans, so that way when I'm sitting here cooking, I got a vent besides the one on here. Because the microwave one, it just takes a lot more power than this one, and we have decided we like this one better anyway. In case you didn't know, there's a whole OnlyFans thing for feet. What do you think, y'all?
All right. Just wanted to show you a few of these motherboards that we burn up. I had to go through all these little boards and see which ones were broken or burn up. That one there is the burn up one on this board. This one looks like it just exploded. This little dude here just exploded out of there. This one was for the max air fan up there, and that one was not a fun one to replace. Also very expensive if you can find them. This one was the control board, so this showed our battery levels and the levels of our tanks on the RV. This one was for the air conditioner up there. I think we're ready to turn this thing on the Victron Connect on the laptop here, and I just want to show you that I've changed the settings on the MPPT to 12 volt, and that's very important. If you don't do that, it's going to be bad.
Ask us how we know.
So you go to your battery and select 12 volt right there. If you're on a 12 volt system, that is. You have to go in there and change those settings on there, because it will absolutely blow your stuff up. Wow. Putting out 18 amps on that charge controller, and this is just a 130, so it's only capable of putting out 30 amps, so that's pretty good. 12 volt 30 amp, 12 volt 30 amp. So just want to make sure. We also put it to lithium on both of ours because we have lithium batteries, so make sure you change that before you do your solar. All right, folks, we got our charge controller hooked up, our other charge controller hooked up, our cutoff for the panels. Man, let's hope this is okay. Whew, I hope it is. I hope it is. I don't see any smoke yet. What does it say? What does it say?
No change. Oh, there it comes.
These are on here really good. I got all the screws out that's holding it to the roof, but I used self-leveling. Gotta say hi to my train every 30 minutes. I got all the screws out, but I used the self-leveling sealant under it and on top of the screws, and man, it is a monster to get this off of here.
So in other words, you did a really good job installing the first set of solar. So good so you can't get it off now?
It's pulling our roof up.
Nice. Did you do that on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, I got my new panels laid out there. Got the old, we had 4 of them, 4 100-watt Renogy panels. They worked great, but we're upgrading to much larger panels now. Just gonna get some roof tape put on each of these where the last ones were bolted down, and then I'm gonna get a panel put right here. Let's get going on it. All right, come on.
So in case y'all don't know already, I'm terrified of heights. This ledge like this big. I am freaking out.
Come
My
on.
heart racing.
We gotta get this done, dear.
I know, Rob. I'm truly terrified though right now. Okay, man. You know what?
Oh my God. And look, we're just covering like this, okay? Just covering the, you got it? And then this, roll it down, got it?
Okay.
Okay.
So who knows what kind of bug this is? Look at this gigantic, really long antennaed bug. This is where we're at right now in case you're curious. That thing is a big old dude. Alright, so we're trying to stay balanced, right? But we need to leave ourselves space to walk. So this one we're gonna push over to that side. The next one we're gonna push over this side, so that way you might have to caddy corner or zigzag to get through, but it's at least gonna leave us enough space to where it'll be safe to have to get up here again if we have to. All right, Rob, tell us what we got going on down here.
All right, so this is our power system for our trailer. We have the Multi-Plus 2. We have 2 charge controllers. We have the link shunt, the distributor, cutoff, fuse from the batteries, cutoff for our solar panels on top. We have 2 260 amp hour eco-worthy lithium iron phosphate batteries right now that we've been running, and they do great. You know, we live pretty comfortably, and in the mornings we're usually maybe 50-60%, 60-70%. It
Depends on how much
what
we
cook
use,
and,
yeah.
what we use at night. So this has worked for us great. We charge up during the day before lunch. We're usually at 100% before lunch. We're already in absorption right now, so on both of these charge controllers were already on absorption, so they're already close to 100% right now, and it's like what, 10, 11?
10:30.
10:30. So we found these eco-worthy batteries. They were on sale on Amazon. They are now 280 amp hour as opposed to the 260 amp hour here. So they're a little different model. I think this one has a 250 amp BMS. These claim 200 amp BMS on the new 280 amp hours. We're going to be paralleling these batteries together just to give us more amp hours at 12 volts. So we're going to string 4 of these together for a total of, what is that, 1080, I think, amp hours. And that should let us run for days and get us through a couple of days if we don't get enough solar. Panels do we have?
In saying that, we've been parked right here where we're at. Sorry, I need sunglasses. Right outside of Flagstaff in Belmont, Arizona since Sunday, and it's Saturday, and we haven't used a generator yet. So I feel like we're doing pretty good with what we got right now. We did just yesterday install 4 of our 375 bifacial on the roof. We're nice and sore and sunburned from that today, and I'm so sunburned I'm already peeling. Like, how does that happen? But yeah.
Oh, you gonna video me? Okay. So we are putting 2 more of these batteries along with the 2 that we already have, and that means we have to make more battery cables. We're using some 4-aught gauge wire. You have to have a huge crimper for this. This is not fun to do. This is tedious. It takes a lot of time to do, and you need to make sure it's right, because if you don't get a good crimp, it's going to get hot, and you're running a lot of amps through these wires. Running one air conditioner, we can pull anywhere from about 150, 160 amps from these batteries at one time, and that is a lot of power flowing through these cables, and it will get hot if you don't make a good crimp. So make sure you do it right. Just putting these cables, seeing if these cables are gonna work.
See if they're long enough, you mean?
Well, I already measured them, but you need to make sure the lugs are in the correct orientation, because if you have one of these lugs turned around crazy, this cable is really hard to get to bend and flex, and I have run into situations where if they're not turned to the correct orientation, it's going to make it very difficult to get it hooked up like you want.
What are you trying to do?
Pull it, make sure it's
not coming off?
Yeah,
okay.
Got to make sure you get it crimped good. Also, the set that I got, this is 4-aught gauge, and on this crimper, I've been using the size smaller. Whatever gauge I have, I go one size smaller on this crimper because I didn't think it was getting a good crimp when I was using the proper numbers. So hopefully this works better.
Another thing that's going to be really important, if we didn't mention it already, put these little black sleeves on there, because if not, there's going to be still a little bit of exposed metal. That's just not smart. So you're going to want to put something to cover the exposed metal.
I think they sent us a size too small on the heat shrink because it's really hard to get them over these cables. So I cut off my pieces, and then I'm trying to stretch out the ends so that it goes over these lugs better and over the cable, because it's real tight. Being a real pain in my rear. Okay, it's the last step of making our battery cables here. Got the lugs crimped on the ends, heat shrink on there, and now I'm just going to burn the heat shrink down. It's better to use a heat gun for this, but we're out in nature right now, and I'm gonna use the
out in nature right now.
so we're gonna use the propane method instead. Burns-o-matic. You want to try to stay as far away from this thing as you can, that way you don't burn it, because it will burn pretty easily like this.
I hear it. That sounds dangerous.
I don't suggest you do this.
I'm not, don't worry. But I see it shrinking it.
This one's not over good.
It's as good as I can get it though.
All made, all heat shrunk and everything. Now all I gotta do is connect my batteries together. Got all my battery cables made here, heat shrunk. This is the final product if you want to take a gander. I think they look okay.
I do too.
They look pretty. These are the bolts that came with our batteries. This is the way we're going to connect our cables. Has a washer, lock washer, and a bolt that holds it down. And I also got some longer bolts just in case we need them, because we are going to be putting 2 battery cables on each pole of these batteries. So here we go. Okay, we're about to hook up our new batteries. We are going to turn everything off. That's off for the solar. This is our main battery cutoff. Should I turn off the multi-plus first? Nah, it'll be okay. This is going to cut all power, and then we're going to connect our batteries in. We're hooking up our batteries in parallel, so we're going to be running at 12 volts. We're going to parallel these batteries, so negative to negative on the battery poles, positive to positive on the battery poles. All the negatives should go together, all the positives should go together for parallel. Okay. We're connecting our batteries in parallel.
No.
So negative to negative and positive to positive. If you hook them up in series, so positive to negative in series like that, it's going to increase the volts. So 4 batteries, you're going to be at 12, 24, 36, 48 volts, and that will blow your stuff up. So make sure you hook your batteries up in parallel, negative to negative, positive to positive. The solar panels on your roof are going to be in series, so they're going to be, positive to the next negative, negative to the next positive. Like those go in series. Batteries in parallel for 12 volt. Okay, that should be it. Okay, hooking up the batteries. I'm going to put them behind this wall here that has the central vac on it. But I was kind of worried about all of these metal ducting, and there's a lot of stuff back here. So I wanted to protect the terminals of my batteries. And Bethany suggested this, so I thought I would try it. And I actually like it a lot. That protects the battery terminals really well. Nothing's gonna be able to get in there. Just got one for each battery terminal. That should keep everything off of it. Might put some out here too, but this part pretty well out of the way. I don't think we'll have any problems with it. All right, I got my batteries all hooked up now. Just gonna show you. You need to go in here and change your settings on your shunt. Battery, uh-oh. Must have pushed it with my finger on accident. Settings, battery bank. And we're gonna change it from the 520 that we had. That was 2 of those eco-worthy batteries. To... Here we go. We're gonna be at 1080 now. We got two 260 amp hour batteries and two 280 amp hour batteries. So 1080 now, check mark, good to go. And then go back to our pages. There we are. It's really cloudy outside and crazy rainy today, so we're not pulling in very much right now. And the Lynx doesn't know, the shunt doesn't know the state of charge right now because I added batteries and turned off the system for a little bit. So it will charge it back up, and then when it gets all the way back up, it'll be good to go. All right.
If you want to get the best use out of your RV when you're off-grid, you got to actually off-grid. We are in the middle of nowhere right now, but we got power because of the sun.